Maggie, in your exposé, you said that Mauritius can go from the middle income to the higher income. How are we going to do that?
I think there's several things, several initiatives right now in Mauritius that will help the country move in that direction. One of them is the transition from manufacturing to services. Services have been shown to greatly increase GDP per capita over the past few decades in the high-income countries, and we see that even in the middle-income countries, as the, I would say, the energy behind exports and manufacturing has slowed down, they're moving into services in order to sustain their growth. I'm very happy to see that so many companies in Mauritius are making the same move. The other aspect that I think is very positive is that Mauritius is investing in education. It needs to be lifelong education. Things change too fast just to go to school when you're young. So I see a lot of professionalization and academic development beyond initial studies. So these are some of the positive aspects.
Well, you said at the end that we should rethink about education, and you just told it, because you said something very important, but the person, the engineer who is in training now, in 4 years' time when he's going to job, he cannot apply what he has learned because he's outdated. How are we going to do that?
In fact, education for sure will change, not only in Mauritius, but around the world. My belief is that we will have lifelong learning from peers. You won't just learn from the professor. You learn from those around you, from groups of exchange, from solving problems together. In a very small way, the meeting we had today of the annual members meeting of the MIOD, as we resolve the wording of criteria for being a member or an associate, this collaborative work is the way we will learn and be entrepreneurs in the future. Not from a higher level person, but rather from our peers. The question is, how can we set up a network of relationships that will encourage us to be learning for the rest of our lives?
And develop all categories in the society? You said it.
Now, this is also very important. One of the things I like to show are the economic graphs that you may have seen. What's beautiful about those graphs is that countries that were poor before are becoming much richer. But rather than taking away from high-income countries, it makes them richer too. I strongly believe the world has a long way to go of economic development, of pulling people up into the dignity of material comfort.
And we can say that you also said that for the economy to grow, somebody must come from the rural to go to cities where the GDP growth is higher?
Yes. Monetizing people, which means giving them jobs that pay. If you have a small garden and you eat from it or you sell some fruits, that's where poverty lies. There's also poverty in cities where people don't have skills or don't have social integration or have other handicaps. But as we help people move forward and monetize those who are otherwise living without productive work, I would say, without financially paid work, as we monetize people at the lower end of the economy, we are going to meet economic development for them and for the rest of the country. I'll give you the example of microcredit. Microcredit was a way of monetizing people with very low skills, very low contacts, but with the opportunity to share with others in the community something that produces financial economic development, even on a small scale, such as providing a loan to buy a cow whose produce, milk, cheese, butter, etc., you can sell thanks to this loan. This is a monetization, which is the beginning of the broader monetization in that economy. And that's the path towards economic development.
Last question, Maggie. You said that Mauritius will like to go into the concept of a virtual city. Why should Mauritius go into a virtual city? Because of connection, interconnectivity, we are talking about internet.
In fact, I'm talking about more than the internet. I think the internet is a precondition. Much stronger telecommunications infrastructure is needed in Mauritius because we are observing that cities are producing wealth. So what is Mauritius' place when we see that development? The only choice, I believe, that can be the motor for the future for Mauritius is that it connects itself with the rest of the world. That's what cities provide. Connections, densities, skills, specialists. That's what cities provide. For Mauritius to have that wealth, it needs to connect outside. It doesn't have to be a mega city itself. It can be a virtual city. It can have ambassadors, representatives around the world that connect Mauritius into a network of cities.
We had a concept here in Mauritius about 24 hours, 7 days. So do we need the Mauritian population to work 24 hours a day? Because we are in the economic style that we are from 9 to 16, and some industries goes 24 hours. Do we need then everybody in Mauritius to work 24/7?
I didn't say that people have to work 24/7. I do think that work is changing as education is changing, because if you're constantly learning, you have to love what you do. And if you love what you do, it's not work. So for many people, they're enjoying what they're doing. It's not true for everyone. I understand not all work is pleasure. Certainly the hours I work are closer to 15 than to 8 per day and weekends. But it doesn't feel like work. So I'm not saying you have to have 24/7. I am saying we need to monetize people who are left out of the monetary part of the economy. I am saying that Mauritius has to stretch beyond its borders even more cleverly, even more aggressively. I am saying that the internet is not only a source of bondage to work, it is also an opportunity to connect and get ideas and to get skills and to deliver value as well as get value. And these are the things that Mauritius has to develop.
Thank you very much, Maggie.
Thank you.